Yes, y'all. Welcome to episode 130. You got the fellas in the house. You got me, the producer, KOD, joined by none other than the Joe Stradamus himself, who's on a hot streak, and Lewis, the administrator. Back in effect. We bang bang. We are post Mania, fellas. We are post Raw. And as of this podcast, we are also post Dynamite, where the new heavyweight champion of the world, Darby Allin, came out, cut a great babyface promo, had an amazing match with Tommaso Ciampa. And still, what I love about what's going on with AEW's World Heavyweight Championship scene is that there's a lot of guys in and out of it, right? We got the Jet, right? We got him. He's kind of sneaking in. We still got forgot his name,
MJF.
MJF and Brody King trying to get their hands on it. Fellas, real quick, I want your opinions on how y'all feel about Darby's championship his first reign. What y'all think about it tonight?
I mean, if he keeps going like this, I don't know how long it's going to last because he had an incredible match against Tommaso Ciampa. These guys put their bodies on the line. Ridiculous. Bloody match.
Damn, because I missed Dynamite. I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Ciampa hit a air raid crash from the top rope all the way to the ground. That looked disgusting. It looked like he broke his hip on that joint. I don't know how he did that. He's an old man too. He gotta chill.
I know.
He landed right on his hip. I'm like, God damn, that did not look good. But they still kept going. They had a great match. If this is Darby Allin's run and he's a fighting champion like this, then he's gonna have a nice legacy at the end of this run. It might be a quick run, but it's gonna be one of those ones that we're gonna look back and be like, damn, that was fun.
Yeah. Now, Lou, I know you didn't watch Dynamite tonight, but how do you feel about Darby becoming world champ? Is it something that needed to happen? Is it too soon? What's your thoughts, bro?
No, I don't think it's too soon. If anything, I think it's perfect timing because Darby Allin he's been there from the company's inception. He's built a great rapport and reputation with the fan base. And he's provided some of AEW's most memorable moments, even if that's not like your thing in pro wrestling with the hardcore bumps and shit like that. But that just goes to show you that pro wrestling can have something for everybody, right? Like Jeff Hardy, he reminds me so much of Jeff Hardy circa 2008, 2009 when they were really pushing him and he was having that singles run. He was so over and he wasn't the best worker, like we know that, but he had that charisma. And I'm not saying that they're similar in terms of how they cut promos, but they're similar in the sense where like they got the face paint, they have that enigmatic personalities that the fans that really are drawn to. So, I think it's perfect timing, if anything. I don't think it's going to be a long run. I'm sticking with that. I don't think it's going to be a long reign. I don't see it going past 2 months. I'd be shocked, but I'm looking forward to it. And judging from what happened on Dynamite tonight, seems like I got to tune in right before bed.
Oh yeah, you got to tune in. It was a good, really good match. Again, like I was telling Joel before we started recording, man, Tommaso Ciampa seems to be right in his bag, man. He seems to be comfortable. He seems to be comfortable within his character, within his wrestling style, within the environment that he's now wrestling in. The crowd is receptive to him. It just seems like this is like the perfect fit for your boy Tommaso. So I'm very happy for Tommaso. So that's a little bit of AEW, but enough about them because we got to talk about WrestleMania 42, guys.
We have to.
We got to, Lou. We got to because, that is our, I guess you would say, our Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Now, fellas, we had the WrestleMania 42. And here at On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, we're going to do a little recap, quick letter grades, all that good stuff, because, this happened. And some would say it was a little polarizing, the PLE as a whole. Some of the endings didn't make sense. Some of the matches all of the matches were way too fast. And out of a 3-hour or so show, only an hour or so of wrestling. Massive ads for the people at home, who was mad annoying. It was mad annoying. I don't know what the people in the stadium was seeing, for Christ. Like, what were they seeing? Like old clips of like Macho Man and Slim Jim commercials. Like, what were they seeing? Like, what were they possibly watching all that time if you only got an hour of wrestling? You know what I'm saying? So, fellas, listen. The best match of the entire weekend was Roman Reigns and CM Punk. We gotta give it up to them, man. We gotta show them some love here. Now my button's not even working. This is crazy. But we gotta show them some love. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it the old way and give a clap.
Old school
way. CM Punk, Roman Reigns delivered probably a match that I did not think they had in them. But here's the thing: it wasn't flashy, but it was storytelling and psychology at its finest, and they paced it really well, where it just picked up speed as it was going. And to be honest, man, my thought was that Roman was obviously going to win. At some points, I was like, "Oh, Punk may get this." Like, it was that good. And I got to give it up for them because they are now the masters of their craft, right? Punk, yes, is a little older than Roman, but Roman's main evented 11 WrestleManias, fella.
That's crazy.
WrestleManias. By this time, your boy should know how to work the match and the crowd the best way he can. And I think in this match, he really showed that he has grown not only in this persona, but also in the ring to develop a story with another wrestler at the caliber of a CM Punk. Now, I'm going to save my letter grade for the end. I'll tell you, my letter grade for the entire event did not change, fellas. I thought it was going to change, but I kept it at a solid C+. Night one was a disaster. I gave that a C-. C-, almost, fellas, almost to basura level. That's how bad it was. It was almost to basura level. And I didn't want to do it to that because still WrestleMania, there were some moments that were cool. Some decent moments, not cool, but decent moments. So I gave that like a C-. Night 2 came out and it redeemed itself a little bit because my boy Trick Williams won the title. My girl Liv Morgan regains what's rightfully hers. Like, I Liv, I love me some Liv. And Roman and Punk delivered. And then we got a shocker of Brock Lesnar retiring, which in my theory, bro, I don't know if anybody knew he was going to do that. I don't know, other than maybe Heyman, but I'm not sure. Maybe y'all heard or read some stories, but it seemed like it was like a spur of the moment. Like, yo, I've always been planning to do this, and I just feel like this is it. This is it now. So
Heyman
overall,
had to have known.
Yeah, Heyman had to know. So overall, PLE a C+ for me. But I want to hear your takes, fellas. Lou, you watched both nights. You got a good, clear understanding of what this whole thing was about. Where do you stand with WrestleMania 42 now in the books? Where are you, bro?
Well, I've already gave the short, the short version of my rant on social media, but now we have a full episode.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm with you, Quixote. Overall, for the weekend, the PLE as a whole, the WrestleMania as a whole, and then I'll talk about each night. But as a whole, a C+. WrestleMania no longer feels like WrestleMania, apart from a couple of matches. And to just briefly further comment on the Punk and Reigns match, it's a shame because of how terrific it was. And I think that's a match that's truly going to go down for the ages. Like 5 to 10 years from now, we'll still be talking about this match. And this is one of those generational WrestleMania main events that I could see influencing a lot of younger fans, a lot of up and coming wrestlers. Like, it was just that good. Now, am I a super fan of either guy? No. So, it's not going to be in my personal top 10 of all time or anything like that, but I'll give it every ounce of credit that it deserves. So, my props to both Phil and Roman Reigns. Just an excellent match overall. And that's what I would expect when I think of WrestleMania main event. When you just say the words out loud, you think of a match like what they delivered this past weekend. Something that's epic, two guys laying it all out on the line. You got the crowd in the palm of your hand, and it is not easy. It is very challenging to work a babyface versus babyface match. That's a lot harder than people give it credit. I don't think it's as hard as a heel versus heel match, but with babyface versus babyface, like, you're so torn, and like who's gonna lean more towards like the gray area, So, and that's tough to pull off. We haven't had a lot of WrestleMania encounters like that. Off the top of my head, Rock and Austin, Taker and HBK, but anyway. So that's that. Now, with everything else, night one, I'm not as harsh on night one as the two of you, but I do give I do give night one no higher than a C, maybe a C plus.
Interesting.
Night one, it delivered some entertaining moments, but that's about it. That main event, once they removed Pat McAfee out of the equation, it was pretty good, But I think the build up to it just left such a bad taste in my mouth that I wasn't as invested as I wanted to be. And then they did the whole thing with with Orton going back to 09 and doing the punt and all that. So that was cool. But other than that, like, if you didn't have a night two, more specifically the main event of night two, and WrestleMania was just that Saturday, I would be like, what on, like, what? Like, what on
Worst
earth
Mania
is
ever.
this?
Worst
what I'm
Mania
saying?
ever. Yeah.
And then night two was better overall as a whole. I'd actually give night two a B minus because the main event really elevated the whole night. Kyoto, you made a good point. If I'm at home, which we were, and we were watching it, it's incredibly frustrating when you have such a long pause because of ads and sponsorships and all of this shit. And it really just it slowly starts to drain the excitement out of you. And I can only imagine that that's what some of the fans in attendance felt like too, because you're just sitting idly for a long time before the next match, and the match lengths were short. I don't have a problem with match length being short, but not to the extent of you only have one match that surpasses 10 minutes. Exactly. I think that's unacceptable for WrestleMania. And I was talking with Gio a couple of days ago. Shout out to Giovanni.
Shout out to Gio.
He had made a good point that at this point, what's the purpose of having WrestleMania be 2 nights if you're going to shortchange everything? Like, why not just go back to what it was, make it a 5-hour show, and give us like 9 matches, 9 quality matches? You might as well, right? But at this point, everything is just a cash grab. So that's my take on WrestleMania, and I am very thankful that I got to experience a WWE event right before WrestleMania, because now I fully understand what the WWE live experience is now. You're only getting less than a handful of in-ring matches, and the rest is just segments, promos, moments, ads. Yep. That's really what it is.
Yep. And listen, man, today or whenever it was, Shapiro, I think his name Mark Shapiro, the president of TKO, pretty much said that they have creative control over everything, which leads me to believe that H has a boss, and his boss knows nothing about pro wrestling. So therefore, they're going to throw stars in there. They're going to throw people we don't care about in these matches and have these stakes that don't matter to the stories that they've been telling all these months. It's just to get eyeballs, and not our eyeballs, but the casual fan, the person who kind of knows a little bit. Oh, Hulk Hogan, yeah, I know that guy. Like that kind of fan, like that fan, right?
Yeah.
And that's just what WWE is. And man, and honestly, it's not for me. It's not hitting for me right now. The product just doesn't hit for me like it used to. But Joe Stradamus,
yes, sir.
What's your thoughts on WrestleMania?
So I think you guys kind of hit the nail on the head with all your takes. But the one thing I would say is I would give the overall weekend a C, not a C plus, just because I think night one was basura. Night one was trash, man. Like
basura.
Exactly. Like that did not have any redeeming qualities to me, at least. Like most of the matches that were good on night one felt like they were just getting hot and then they ended. So like Seth versus Gunther, I felt like it was just getting hot. It ended. It was a good match, but then it ended a little too quick for me. Same thing with Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. I was like, first of all, they got to retire street fights and action matches in WWE, because now that we have AEW, we know what an actual unsanctioned match looks like.
Yep.
And WWE they never hit it to that level, like ever, man. So like the only time that I could kind of think of was when they had the Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens match a couple years back, where it was like lights out match or something like that, and they kind of went hard. But if you're not going at least that hard, like just make it a regular match, man. We don't or no DQ, like don't call it unsanctioned, because nothing about that match was unsanctioned.
No,
zero.
They rang the bell like a regular match. I think the ref just had like a black t-shirt. That's the only thing that was different.
It was very much sanctioned.
Exactly.
Very much sanctioned, yeah.
But then, and then the main event was just a little too convoluted for me. Like, yeah, they did have a pretty, once you get Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll out of the equation, they did have a pretty good match. But I felt like they got too like cutesy with it, like with the whole Pat McAfee coming back down with the neck brace and the referee.
So
why is he a referee all of a sudden? How is that allowed? Like they just made, like, I feel like that's kind of the theme of the weekend is I don't know who this show is for anymore. Like WrestleMania used to be for the hardcore fans that would travel from all across the world to go to wherever it was. You know, it'd be like wrestling fans from Europe and wrestling fans from Asia, and they all come to the one place to see the biggest, our Super Bowl, like you said. And now it feels like it's not really for those fans. It's more for the casual fans. But then I was watching WrestleMania with my wife. She's watching it, and she had to like get up and be like, yo, there's too many ads. This is boring. And she just walked away. So I'm like, so it's not for the casual fan either.
Damn, they lost her. They lost another.
And if you're a casual fan or a new fan trying to gain, like they're trying to gain eyes on this show, and they tune into WrestleMania, it's supposed to be your biggest show. It's a wrestling show. Why is there no wrestling on the damn show?
Jeez, man.
Why is it 90% ads? It doesn't make me want to keep watching. If I'm a new fan, I'd rather just, the NBA playoffs are going on. Like,
yeah,
baseball season's back. Like, there's so many other options out there. Why would I stick to this show that's 90% ads and no action? So like, I don't really get what the point of WrestleMania is anymore. I don't think it's for us anymore, but I also don't think it's for casuals either. I think it's just a cash grab, like Lewis said. So that kind of just left a sour taste in my mouth. And even like, yes, the main event of night 2 was incredible. I won't take away anything from those guys. That was an incredible match, 5-star match, whatever you want to say. But even that night had like weird things of like during the Jade and Rhea match, they had like the random guy who paid to sit at commentary. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that. Like that was so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like
I missed that.
like yeah, they had someone just sit at commentary that was just a random like billionaire or something that could afford
Of course.
to pay for that experience. And I'm just like, yo, nothing is sacred anymore. Like you could literally buy anything. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you could like pay your way into the writer's room at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's ridiculous a little bit. So
Word.
I think for that, it kind of just brought like the whole weekend down for me a little bit. So like, yeah, night 2 was really good. I enjoyed Sammy versus Trick. I enjoyed obviously the main event. I enjoyed Rhea versus Jade. Actually, I thought they had a pretty good match. But just overall, it just came across feeling like it wasn't WrestleMania. You know, like if like combined there was 13 matches, and we'd say one classic out of 13, and then maybe like the ladder match was pretty good, I would say.
Yeah.
Gunther and Seth. So like let's say 4 out of 13 matches were good. That's a failing grade right there. You're in education, Lewis. That's a failing grade.
That's a failing grade.
4 out of 13.
4 out of 13. Like, so I don't know, man. It just, I feel like now that we have the alternatives, and I don't want to compare AEW and WWE, but we have alternatives out there that shows us monthly how a good pay-per-view is. WWE needs to step it up, man. Because I think they might not see it now, but in the future, when you have like the younger generations growing up to wanting to be a wrestler, and they see the difference between a show that actually puts wrestling first and a show that barely has 10-minute matches on their biggest show, they're going to see a lot of people growing up wanting to be AEW wrestlers over being like that used to be their thing. Like so many people grow up wanting to main event WrestleMania or being on WrestleMania. But now, is it even worth being on WrestleMania when you're going to get a 5-minute match?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree, man. I 100% agree with both of your takes. Solid takes, because I think I was extremely disappointed in night 1. I thought night 1 was pretty much
basura.
Yeah, that's what I thought night 1 was.
Basura.
And I got, and fellas, real quick before we switch topics, was it me or was it unnecessary for this one moment to go down in WrestleMania, which was the moment of bringing out Bianca Belair and getting the crowd hyped up like she's back? Thank goodness. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. She's back. Because we need her, right?
Shit.
We need to finish stories with her and Jade. We need her. But she comes back. She's glowing. And I'm like, this ain't like I'm returning kind of moment. She gets into the ring to reveal she is newly pregnant, which further means that she will be out for at least 1.5 years, like minimum 1.5 years, minimum. To only just say, guys, I'm pregnant, I love y'all, but you ain't gonna see me for a while. Peace out, and we'll do this all over again someday. I just thought that was incredibly unnecessary. She could have sent out a WWE verified Instagram message. She could have done a video from home with Montez. She could have done anything but that. Because me, as a fan of Bianca, got hyped. I was like, yo, she's back. This is going to be great. Thank you. The finger's good. She's back. But no, I'm pregnant and I'm not going to see y'all for another. Thank y'all. And peace out. I'm sorry. I just thought it was unnecessary. Am I wrong? Where am I? Am I wrong, fellas?
I didn't mind the moment. I see what you're saying, though.
It's been
Looking
a year.
at it from the lens of WrestleMania. I mean, you're not wrong, right? But I thought the moment was cute. You know, I'm a parent, so I have a different perspective on those things.
You're biased, Lou. You're biased.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Like, it's not like the moment was a highlight for me over the weekend either. You know, it's not one of those things. It was just, I don't know why WWE feels the need to include all of these segments to kill time when you have like a whole bunch of matches that could have benefited from an additional 5 minutes here, 6 minutes here, 7 minutes there. Because you had that segment, you had the Danhausen segment. You had the the usual Hall of Fame segment. But if you add all of those in between segments, and then like John Cena announcing the wonderful audience of 50 plus thousand in Allegiant Stadium on both nights, and you add all of that with the ads, you're not getting like the matches are getting shortchanged. So it goes back to that original point that we were making. I congratulations to Bianca Belair. I don't
No,
hate the moment.
congratulations. Here at On the Mark, we congratulations. We're gonna miss
Yeah,
you.
yeah, for sure.
That's where this is coming from.
Yeah.
Is that it's been so long. I just thought she would be around. Joe, you have a feeling about this?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way with like how Lewis is like, yeah, it's just not needed. It's a nice moment for sure, very nice moment. Shout out to Bianca, shout out to Montez. A really cool moment, but it's like it's not needed on WrestleMania. Like,
No,
you could have done this
like,
on Raw. You could have done this like on a regular weekly show, but I guess she wanted to do it in front of a large audience. It's just weird though, like, because I feel like one of the things, and we could kind of transition into this topic that Lewis had brought up. We saw a lot of fan interactions this weekend. A lot of fans going a little too far, shoving the cameras in people's faces. You saw the CM Punk incident with CM Punk slapping the phone off the guy that was recording AJ Lee and Bailey during like an intimate moment. So like we have that on one side where the wrestlers are like saying like, oh, you guys don't know boundaries. But then on the other side, you're kind of letting people into your life, into your real life now, when you come out and you do a pregnancy reveal in front of 50,000 people. So it's kind of like you're letting these people believe these parasocial relationships where they're like, yeah, I love Bianca. I'm a Bianca stan. She told me she's pregnant. And now I'm sure if someone was to come up to her and be like, selfie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Montez wouldn't like that. And Bianca wouldn't like that. So like, it's a weird like thing where they keep doing this reality and kayfabe and everything is real, but it's not real. It's like, I feel like it's too intertwined. Let's just get back to fucking wrestling, man.
Yeah.
It's a wrestling show. It's a wrestling show.
Yeah.
And that's why the main event of night 2 was so freaking good, because it was a straight up wrestling match. No celebrities involved, no bloodline involved.
Yep.
Just two of the best wrestlers of the last 10 years that we've been wanting to watch go one-on-one, have a one-on-one match. Imagine if Rock and Austin was a bunch of bullshit, like with the Pat McAfee of whoever that generation would have been. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, but Mike Tyson was involved in WrestleMania. But Mike Tyson is a combat sport athlete. It made sense. It's the same thing with Floyd Mayweather. He was a boxer. It made sense. We want to see these guys come into these arenas. We don't want to see a punter, a freaking NFL punter in the main event of WrestleMania. We don't want to see Jelly Roll in the main event of WrestleMania. We want to see the wrestlers that we watch every single week. You build these storylines with them, and we just want to see them fight at the end of the damn WrestleMania. That's all it is. Facts. And they do these weird things where they start intertwining reality. Now you have Bianca Belair telling us she's pregnant. Good for you. Congratulations. But it's not necessary for WrestleMania when you have 6-minute world title matches between Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. That could have easily been 5 more minutes for that match.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Lou, yeah. Where are you at with it, man? With the whole fan interaction, or not fan interaction, but fans getting, I guess, or feeling like they have access to these wrestlers. Now, just to give you some perspective here, that hotel has a massive lobby, apparently, that is wide open. Anybody can walk in and out of that hotel. Wrestlers are just walking around, kind of doing their own thing, and fans can just be there. You're in the public. Is there a difference with that versus like being out to dinner with their family and then a fan running up on you? Obviously, there's a difference, right? But if you're in public, in a public lobby, and fans are there also staying there and also has access to get in, do we fault the fan for trying to get a picture, for trying to, get a selfie or autograph? I mean, it all depends on how you're doing it, right? But where's the line, man? It's so blurred. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, the lines can get very blurred. Based on what I saw on social media, like videos and reports and things like that. Like these fans this past weekend were beside themselves.
Yeah.
They were bugging out.
I mean,
Bugging out.
fuck. Like, look, we're all fans of the business, and we look up to these people like immortals. We look up to them as superheroes and idols and role models and all that good stuff. So we become so enamored when we see them physically in person because like all we do is watch them from behind the screen, and we adore what they do and we invest. And then when we see them in person, it's like we don't know. We don't. This is just. I'm saying we like humans, right? It's human nature. We don't know how to act because it's like, oh my god, I love you. I'm such a fan. I need a moment with you. Whether it's a selfie, a conversation, a handshake, a hug, something. I need to be around you. Or there's the dangerous side of it. There's the flip side of it where you got those really creepy, obsessive fans that just want to hurt. Because
Yeah.
Elena Black, formerly known as Cora Jade, she had posted that someone had grabbed her ass,
Mhm.
and stuff like that is just really uncalled for. Like, what is wrong with you fucking sickos? You know, I understand an obsession, but like now you're putting your hands on somebody that didn't ask for to be touched, and it's just unwarranted advances and all that. And then you got the Big Vito situation where he's roughing up a fan that the fan was like rage baiting as they would say, but for Vito to get to that point where he like put him on the table and said, "Don't you ever put your fucking hands on me." Like D'Lo Brown had to step in, like Zilla was in the background,
Damn.
it was like one of those things, and no one realized it until they were just like scuffling for a good 10 to 15 seconds. No one realized that it was shit. Like this is something. Like this is about to be a fight. But to go back to what you were saying, Quixote, that a function like WrestleCon where you're in a massive lobby and you have such easy access, it becomes a security concern more than anything else.
Exactly.
Like I can speak from firsthand experience on what the WrestleCon experience is like. It's very overstimulating. It's cool,
Yes.
but it's overstimulating because everywhere you look, there's somebody
Yeah.
that you admire within 10 to 15 feet. I look to my left, it's Ric Flair. I look to my right, it's Goldberg. I look to my left again, it's Adam Cole and Britt Baker. I look to my right, it's Rikishi. It is
Mhm.
literally like that. So
Yeah.
there's some people that don't know how to control themselves. And for functions like that, they're probably going to have to be putting in more security measures in place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
At the end of the day, I want everyone to be safe, fans and talent alike. But we just there has to be a change with some of these fans invading other people's space. Like even me, I feel a little weird when I approach a wrestler, but I try to do it as respectfully and humbly as I possibly can. The most recent example when Roderick Strong was sitting there with Marina Shafir at the bar last summer. I approached him, and that was just a bold move. I knew I was invading his space, but I tried to like preface it with like, "Hey, I know you're on your downtime with your wife, but I just want to say I'm a huge fan. Would it be too much to ask for a selfie?" Like stuff like that. I wasn't being like overly dramatic or obsessive, but I could tell that he was annoyed. Like he was visibly annoyed, and he was just trying to do me a solid because of my approach. But then like 5 minutes later, a lot of fans start coming up to them and he just bounces. So I think it depends on your approach too.
Yeah.
There's just some people that don't have social cues, and they think that they're entitled to everything, whether it's a physical touch or just hounding,
Yeah.
But
my mom used to say it. You got to have some couth, man. You got to have some couth.
yeah,
Got to have some couth, man.
it's
For
just
sure.
that's the state that we're in. And Joel, you brought up a brilliant point. The lines are way too blurred with kayfabe and reality, and like fans don't know how to control themselves when they see these wrestlers.
I blame WWE Unreal for this. This is part of this. I
mean, it's
blame
part of
that
it.
show for a lot of this. those fans that just started watching wrestling 6 months ago. I blame that show for them thinking that they could just do whatever they want with these wrestlers. Oh, they're just like me. I'm just gonna run up on them and just be like with a camera and everything. Like it's blurred the lines too much. But we'll see what happens. Apparently, the gentleman whose camera got knocked out of his hand will not press charges and don't want to do anything legal with Punk. So, luckily for Punk, he didn't have to shell out a couple $100,000 for that.
Yo, for real,
for that lawsuit, fellas. I want to get to the Raw after Mania. Now, the Raw after Mania, fellas, this was probably the best one in years. And even this one was like it was good. In my opinion, it was good. It was good. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. What I did like was the obvious call. We knew Sol Ruka at some point was going to be there. I wonder if Zarya also is going to be on the main roster now, if they're still continuing that whole feud. But that's another thing. But I like Zarya also. But Sol Ruka for sure. Ethan Page, which I think is a good call up at this point. And then we got at the end, fellas, just to skip a little bit. We got at the end the stare down between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. We're gonna get this match now with the blood with Jimmy and Jay standing in the back. Fellas, I loved everything that Jacob had to say, but I wanted Jacob to also say something about needing the championship other than for a Rolex, some new Jordans, all that stuff. I wanted a little more substance from Jacob. But that's just a minor gripe. Other than that, it was a solid promo, in my opinion. Fellas, what's your thoughts on the Raw after Mania? Anything stand out to you in this show? Joe, anything for you, my friend?
I thought it was pretty solid. I feel like I do have a little bit of bloodline fatigue, so I do wonder what they're gonna do to make this different. I hate when Roman is a champion and then it's all about just the bloodline. And I thought we were getting away with that with the WrestleMania main event being like he was on his own, he did it on his own. So I wonder where the story goes from there. I do think there's gonna be some twists and turns though, so I'm gonna let it play out.
Yeah.
But Jacob Fatu, I was surprised that he's the first challenger. I thought we might have been going for Oba based on how hot Oba has been, but I guess they want to save that for a bigger show. It does seem like this Jacob Fatu is coming a little bit out of nowhere because I thought he was on SmackDown, but I don't think they really care about the brand splits anymore.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say, how the hell did he just freely walk onto Monday Night Raw?
This might be a good conversation for a future episode, though. But is it time that we get rid of the brand split and just have one championship?
Exactly.
I feel like it would make everything
one
so
belt.
much better. Yeah, just one championship. It would make it so much better. I feel like it because if I'm not mistaken, the whole Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre feud was over Cody's belt. So why isn't Jacob going for Cody's belt?
Exactly.
Because Jacob caused Drew the match with Cody.
Who knows?
But whatever. If you think about it too much, it starts not making sense. So I guess that's what WWE wants.
That's WWE's intention.
Yes, that's their intention.
But I am excited to see Jacob Fatu in a major feud. I think this is cool. He put in his time in the Indies for a long time, so it's cool to see him in this spot. Yeah, and I'm excited to see where they go from here. I just hope it's not just the told bloodline story again that we always get. I don't need bloodline warfare. I don't need Solo and the MFTs involved. Let's get Roman separated from his family for a bit. I want to see Roman go against a bunch of guys we haven't seen him go against. Gunther, Braun Breaker, Oba Femi. Let's get him going against these younger guys, build some new stars. It can't just be Samoans forever, man.
Yeah. I agree. Lou, where you at with it, man?
I like it. I don't mind it. If anything, it's a little too soon, but I think it's also a test run for Jacob to see how he does throughout this program and how he performs at the main event level, because that'll determine whether they want to invest in him long term or not. Because we can sit here and say that guys like him and Braun Breaker, Obafemi, whoever the case may be, are the future, and they're going to wrestle main event WrestleMania someday. But that's really for management to decide. Like how much can that wrestler get over? How much can they perform in the ring and tell a story? And most importantly, how much of a draw are they in terms of like merch and all that stuff? Because at the end of the day, it's a business. So they're going to be watching Jacob Fatu under a microscopic lens.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And now, fellas, at any point, do you think this becomes something like a new age blood or a new imagining of the bloodline, but this time somehow Jacob is involved? Can this story get there? Or do you think WWE is really trying to keep Jacob in his own lane? What's your thoughts?
Now, I do have a theory, and I did kind of steal this from somebody, so it's not my theory, but
Okay.
but the fact that Jacob Fatu and the Usos are all Fatus, and it kind of makes sense if they were to get together and maybe turn on Roman. I don't know if it happens, but they all do share the Fatu last name, so it could be like, hey, you're not really one of us, Roman. Like, it might be one of those things. I don't know. And that could be cool. And that solidifies Roman as a babyface, I guess, going forward. And then you have, his family betrays him. And it would make sense with the story of the fact that CM Punk brought up Sika and he didn't really do nothing about it. And Jay was all pissed off during that one promo. And Roman didn't really do anything about the fact that CM Punk disrespected their family, and Roman's all about family.
I like it.
But it seems like lately Roman only cares about his immediate family, his kids, his wife. He don't really care about the bloodline as much as he used to. So
yeah,
this might be that might be the seeds they're trying to plant here.
Damn, I like it. You see, now if you give me that, I'm in. I'm interested. You got me. But I don't want them to replay the same old bloodline stuff. We've been there, done that. It was great for what it was. Let's keep it that way so it doesn't stain or taint what we think of it. Unless you do something drastic like a Fatu faction. I'm with that. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Now, I got a quick question for you guys. What did you guys think of that CM Punk Cody Rhodes segment during Raw? I thought that was a little weird.
That was a little weird. I don't love the way Cody's been booked, man, for a while now. And this is not even just with that promo. It's more so just with recent, even Mania. I feel like there's just something missing in terms of his relatability with his babyface role. Like he doesn't seem relatable. The suits are obnoxious. The hair, everything's just too perfect. It's just not real. Like there's nothing real about him. There's nothing relatable about him. You could say he could come to all the barbecues, cookouts he want, but when he gets there, he's going to be he's going to clearly look like he don't belong there, right? Other than that, he's white. He's going to clearly look like he don't belong there. He's going to wear penny loafers to the cookout. He can't wear penny loafers to the cookout. You can't do that. You can't do that with a button, like a turtleneck or button down. Like, come on, Cody. Nah. See, there's just nothing relatable. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about it, honestly, because I'm not clicking with Cody. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Joe, Lou, what do you think? It's a nothing bird. Yeah, it's nothing.
I gotta sleep on Cody Rhodes and come back to this conversation because I haven't given a lot of thought on how I feel about Cody Rhodes. And that's not even me being funny. Like I have not really sat down and said, how do I how do I feel about him as champion, as the face of the company, as a character overall? I don't know.
I do got to say one thing about Cody Rhodes, man, and I think this weekend really proved something. When the lights are bright and you have a Cody Rhodes match versus a Roman Reigns match, Roman Reigns is a star, undeniable. Cody Rhodes to me he don't really have it, man.
Your Cody hate is fantastic.
He don't really have it.
Yeah.
I just don't see it, man.
The Cody hate is great.
Guy. He's a great company guy. He makes all the interviews. He wakes up early, goes to all the radio shows, and does the John Cena Make-A-Wish and all that. Yeah, but Roman Reigns, man,
Roman Reigns is a star. He's a star.
He's a star. He doesn't
and
have.
He's relatable.
He doesn't have to, and he's more relatable somehow.
More relatable,
but at the same time, he doesn't have to try as hard.
Yeah,
and it seems like
he just oozes charisma.
Hard. Yeah,
Cody's
and it seems like
trying.
Cody's trying hard. But I do have a Joe Stradamus prediction. That Cody Rhodes CM Punk segment is a teaser. That's going to be WrestleMania Night 1 main event next year. Cody Rhodes CM Punk.
Yeah, I can see that. I could totally see that. I think that's exactly where they're going with that, because that was probably in the original plans anyway, before things went south last year. But yeah, I could totally see Punk versus Rhodes.
And I'll bet you it'll be the same exact booking. CM Punk's going to kick him in the nuts, just like Randy, just like John Cena, because all his friends just kick him in the nuts for some reason.
Joe Stradamus strikes again.
I get it. He has a very kickable.
He's got a kickable sack.
You just want to kick him in the nuts. You just want to kick his you face look at Cody,
you kick him in the nuts.
You just want to kick him in the nuts.
Yes.
Man, that's hilarious.
That might be the episode title of this.
Yeah, that's definitely. That might be we got to roll with that one.
Kick him in the nuts.
Kickable sack. That's
kickable sack.
Kickable sack. Oh my god. Fantastic.
Shit.
Listen, fellas, I think this was a good recap show. I have no more thoughts about this. This is WrestleMania 42 is over. I just want to move past this and go on to Double or Nothing and Backlash, because I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with this Roman and Jacob Fatu joint. But fellas, it's been great. Thank you for this episode 130 of On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. I'm your boy Coyote, joined by none other than Joe Stradamus and Lewis, the administrator himself. Keep it locked in, y'all, for more shows and all that good stuff.